Gather round, true believers, that's if you're still living. Mint God here, you know what it is. I hope everyone's having a good weekend. So we got some good news over the weekend. Phase Zero had an amazing interview with Brad Winderbaum, and they asked about Nova. That has driven everybody crazy. Disney's already putting out a lot of fire, so I guess it's gonna take some fans in the know to help out. Brad Winderbaum is in charge of streaming and animation. There is something called the Parliament. That means that each one of these executive producers in this group under Kevin Feige is responsible for certain projects. The person to ask about Nova would naturally be Jonathan Schwartz. But Brad Winderbaum did chime in, as you will hear, and what I want you guys to understand is that Jonathan Schwartz already had a challenging 2023. He was responsible for The Marvels and Secret Invasion. So you can imagine that he really needs a home run right now. And I'm being told that that's Shang-Chi too. So since that's being pushed up, I think that once he's done with that, because everyone's got to focus on one thing at a time, I think Nova comes right after that. Pause. No worries. You guys listen to this, come up with your own theories, but I think Nova's on the way. Let's not forget the Disney 100 celebration showed a few images of upcoming IPs. Something looked like Herbie. Another one looked like it could have been Nova or, the Nova Core. I could have been wrong, There's a lot of similarities and stuff like that, but I really do think that Nova is higher on the priority list than people think. Let's talk about it.
There's a couple other projects I'd love to ask you about since you oversee all the streaming, animation, television. There's one hot rumor about my favorite character that I don't know the sources of it. It's just one of those things that bounces around on social media. Nova. I'm never going to stop asking about Nova until I see Nova. The hot one about Nova is that it's going to be a special presentation. Can you give me anything about my guy Richard Rider or Sam Alexander? Another great version of the character.
We love Nova. We are in really early development on Nova. We have a new system behind the scenes at Marvel Studios where we're developing. We're more like a traditional studio now. We're developing more than we actually will produce. So there are plans to develop Nova. I love Nova too. I love Rich Rider too. Like I hope it gets to the screen. The world is chaos. There's always things. It's hard to make anything. You got to conjure these things to make them happen. But I would love to see a Nova show one day.
Hey man, one day. One thing you guys already wrapped up, this is my last question for you. One thing you guys wrapped up is Ironheart, which has been pushed down the line a little bit. I'd love to hear if you could speak on when we can expect that and if there's anything you can speak to about the delays there, if there's any changes to be made or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, frankly, in all honesty, there was a mandate to kind of create as much as we could for Disney Plus as quickly as we could. And then there was a shift. And all of a sudden, we have to, start spreading our release dates out. So that really accounts for a lot of the delays. Now, we're using that time. We're not sitting idle. So it's like it stays in the oven. You can bake certain things a little more. You can kind of it's actually, I think ultimately, it's only going to make things better. But most of it's just frankly just shrapnel from the business.
Stay tuned and follow us in the name of comics.